Welcome to the Palette Talks podcast.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jason. Welcome back to a new season of the Palette Talks podcast. It's been a while since we did one. We did the last podcast this January, so it's been months since we did one. But I'm really excited today. I'm so happy today. Today we're joined by an amazing guest. Not just an amazing guest, but two amazing guests. I would call them duo musical geniuses. They're super talented. Honestly, they're really like the funniest dudes I've ever met. So it's Alex and Jeroen from Wordbound, everyone.
Good evening.
Good day,
Good
good day.
evening.
Or whatever time you're listening. Maybe it's not evening.
It's really amazing, like we have different time zones. Like right now, like it's 12 a.m. in the morning here. So,
Oh,
but yeah, it's amazing how technology connects us, how we can have conversations and talk with each other from very long distances, right?
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we're super grateful. I'm super grateful for that. So for a start, Alex, Jeroen, how you guys doing? How has 2020 been treating you guys?
2020 has been great. It's a great year. Even in spite of Corona outbreak. Actually for us as a duo and as electronic musicians that live in two separate countries, Coronacation, whatever you want to call it, has been really great. We've been making more music and more videos content than we've ever been. And we're really happy to be making music without the constraint of time taken by school and commuting to school and all those kind of stuff. So that's been great. And we've been doing really good on the social side as well, on streaming services like Spotify. Like we just hit 50K on our song that we released with
Yay!
Paletteism. So that's great. We're stoked about that. We're really stoked about that.
We are
So,
very
yeah, things have been great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it's been amazing to be honest to meet you guys.
You too.
It was unreal to be honest. Like, it was my first time just trying to build a record label. I was really like strict on who I want to release with, so I really checked everything. All the backgrounds, all your other music. I really checked all of them.
You know where I'm
Yeah.
born and which school I went to.
That's creepy,
You
What
never
your
know,
grades
you
in
never know.
school were?
My school pictures? Oh no.
Yeah, your school grades when you were 12.
Your essence grades, your crush, your first crush. Um,
I don't even
got
know
it
my
all.
first crush.
so this is actually something that I really want to ask you guys since the beginning. So you guys are from two different countries, right? So
Correct.
Alex, you're from
I'm from Denmark.
Denmark,
Yeah,
and Jerome.
I'm from Holland. We live in the same time zone, which is pretty convenient. But yeah, we don't really see each other. I think we've seen each other 3 times now.
Is it
in
3
the
or 4?
past- I think it's
It's gotta be
3.
3, yeah, 3.
Yeah, and in
It's
the
been a while.
past, like 7 years or something. So
Yeah,
so,
we
Wow.
had a number 4 planned for this summer, but we'll see how that turns out.
Now that's something that I really want to ask you guys. So let's bring this all the way backward.
Mhm.
How did the two of you meet? How did Wordbound come together? How do you guys know each other?
it's a
Who's
good
gonna tell
story
the
for
story?
you, Alex.
Oh, okay. So let's go like 7, maybe 8, no, 7 years back in time, where there was a Skype group founded by a music producer called Jordan Kelvin James. He made like a little
Mm.
group for mainly house music producers, actually, which is
Mm.
where we both originated back in the day. When I was 11 years old, and Jerome was not the age he is today either. And we were in that chat for a few years until we knew about each other. We knew each other's names kind of, and we knew who we were, but we never really talked. But one day, Jerome, he sent a message in the chat saying he needed help with the mixing, audio engineering, a track of his. So I was like, I'm pretty good at mixing, which I wasn't. So I I offered to help him. And that did not go very well. But I thought I was awesome. And
It was an
apparently
improvement. Let's be real.
Okay, let's be real. It was an improvement, but it was something. It was something. Gotta be fair.
Which says how terrible I was at mixing at the time.
So was I, bro. God damn. Anyway, we yeah, that's how we like really met for the first time and talked. And then a friendship started slowly, and then we eventually started a collaboration, multiple. And then we kept working, and we added each other on WhatsApp, and we talked more, and made, I don't know, like 20 or 30 collaborations, but never released one.
Whoa.
And then one day, when we were pretty good friends at this point, like very good friends, and then we're like, hey, let's meet in real life. So did you come to Denmark first, or did I come to you first? I came to you first.
You came
right?
to me, yeah.
Right. Was that when we started Wordbound, or was it when?
No, we started Wordbound at your place.
All right. So yeah, we met for the first time at his place. Apparently, like, I don't remember. It's been so long. It's been like 2 years, not that long. We met at his place, and then we made music and stuff. Collaborated a bunch of times. Again, never released a single song. Never. And then at one point, he came to my house. We were listening to lo-fi music while eating breakfast. And I don't know who, maybe it was both of us, but we were like, let's start a lo-fi duo.
Yeah.
Cool. So we were like, that resonated so well with us, and that was exciting. That was so exciting. And that was 1 year and 3 months ago.
I remember us thinking at the time, like, oh, lo-fi is so easy to make. We can do that.
Yeah.
It's really not when you try to make everything from scratch.
Yeah,
it's really not.
So you guys are basically internet friends. Like, that's how you met at first.
Pretty much.
Alex is like legit my best friend, maybe.
Yeah, you too.
In the whole world.
In the whole world. I love you, bro. Confessions are coming out now. Nah, we've told each other a bunch of times we love each other.
Yeah. But like, no homo.
Yeah.
But that's actually really... Oh.
No, keep going. Sorry.
We're sparking something new here.
We're discovering things.
It's amazing how you guys get connected through Skype, right? Skype group.
Skype. Yeah.
So you started with house music.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true. That's where I yeah. That's where we both originated, at least. We made a bunch of house collabs, but never released any again. But yeah, I used to release under a name called Altimo. That's fun. I have a bunch of old songs there. They're not any good, I think, personally, but I've gotten a lot of support on them for some reason. Honestly, I don't know why, but
you were mildly successful.
I was mildly successful. I don't know how, but I guess just connections. It's pretty well. I had pretty good connections. That's probably why. And you made music under Nunu, right, Jeroen?
Yeah, Nunu. And then I tried a bunch of different names, which none of them stuck. I think I had like 4 aliases at some point.
Yeah. Okay, let's sum it up. There was Nunu, and then you became James Wave, and then Jeremy Sonder.
First, I became Climb, and then I was James Wave, and then it was Jeremy Sonder, and now it's Wordbound.
Oh, 5 names. That's so funny.
You guys are really good with aliases. You guys have a lot of names.
I have a lot of names, yeah. I just started another one, actually, as well, called Alec Griffin. So here we go again.
You may even have had more aliases than me.
I think I do, actually. I've had a bunch. Oh, God.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's so funny. We're like 10 different people.
Yeah, you can just call me whatever you want.
Probably
an alias.
Yeah.
So you guys are really creative with your names, huh?
No, it's just namegenerator.com. Basically.
What about Wordbound? How did that come to mind?
As I just said, we're onto a website which generate a bunch
Oh.
of cool words, right? So we click generate word, then the word pops up, and then there's like, this is an adjective, and then it says the meaning. And we scroll through that for like an hour, it feels like, at least. I remember it as an hour. We just scroll through names, and then this word pops up, Wordbound, and we're like, we read the thing, and it means to be constrained or limited by words. We're like,
Ooh.
that fits so well with music. Like
Pretty
when you're
epic.
limited by words, you use music, right? So we're like, well, there it is, Wordbound. That's us.
Yeah, and then we checked if no one else had it, and no one else had it. So then it was us. There's actually a surprisingly large amount of aliases in the world, but it's very hard to be
Yeah,
unique. That was the hardest part, to be honest.
yeah, it's so hard to be original with names.
Yeah, totally. Like sometimes we even like the names that they suggested in the random name generators, like it's already been used, right?
They're possible, yeah. Most
Yeah, but
likely.
yeah,
It's
and
what you get whenever.
Wordbound in itself is honestly like really aesthetic. Like I don't know, it feels so sexy, you know, Wordbound. Like
Thank
dang,
you.
that's bold. That's bold.
Yeah.
Like
That's bold. That's edgy, dude.
yeah,
Nah.
that's really edgy.
It's quite lo-fi. Could be pretty poppy too.
Yeah, you can bring it that way if
We're
you want.
branching out,
but-
dude. We are actually
Yeah.
branching out on the subject of pop. We're releasing a pop lo-fi blend in 5 days. No, 7 days. No, 6 days. I don't
6
even
days,
know.
yeah.
It's the
Damn, it's
4th
next
of,
week.
Oh my god, it's next week.
Oh my god.
So exciting. Oh my god.
So let's talk a little bit about that. So how is your creative process, right? You guys actually work remotely, I would say, right? So communication is still key, especially in collaborations and making music together. Um, how is your creative process, especially on music? How do you guys make music together, even like remotely?
It's different for every song. For this one, well, it's usually either one of us starts, and then the other one adds on to it, and we kind of keep going back and forth, keep giving each other hints and feedback, and
Yeah,
slowly
that's a
but
really-
surely, song
Go ahead.
comes together.
Yeah.
You know, sure.
The feedback thing is a very big part of our process, at least. So on SoundCloud, which is where we upload our work in progresses, you can comment on it, and it says on which timestamp the comment was made.
Yeah.
So when we upload a song to privately on SoundCloud, and we send a link to each other, and then we write a bunch of feedback for each other to fix on the song, and ideas and stuff, and we record guitars and choir and bass and whatnot for each other.
Yeah, I always ask Alex to play guitar because he's actually a beast on guitar.
I'm really not. Like, literally, I'm not.
But yeah, like the SoundCloud timestamp thingy is actually really useful, right? If you utilize it that way.
Yeah, it's really, really useful.
Yeah. Because you can just like tag it and like, okay, this needs some little more work. You know, change this up a little bit.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. The snare needs EQ.
Yeah, and you can just private the link, right? So
Yeah,
just the two of you guys. Yeah, that's really clever. I think that's a really good advice for people who actually work on collaborations as well.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty useful now that I think about it. That's really great advice.
That's
one of the pros.
Write that down.
Yeah, that's what we learned from the Skype group, actually. There was a bunch of collaborators all the time. So you learn to collaborate pretty quickly.
Yeah. And everyone kept asking for feedback, so you also learn to be critical of.
Yeah.
You also
good
learn
way.
to accept feedback. Because
That's
accepting
difficult.
feedback when you think your work is awesome is very hard. It's a difficult pill to swallow.
Yep. And I think like feedback, this is like the real thing. A lot of people just compliment, right? But they know that it lacks something. You know, I think the least that we all can do is give constructive suggestions or criticism, but something constructive. So you don't just like, yo, this sucks, but like, oh, I think this is amazing, but if you put in a little more work here, you mix it up here, like I think that should be something that producers and artists do more instead of just doing this fake, oh, this is so good, like, oh, this is really amazing, but actually it feels empty, like, because when it becomes like something toxic, right? It doesn't make you grow. It doesn't make you better. So I think, feedbacks and giving constructive criticisms, I think those are really important things.
Definitely. I'm always thankful, excuse me, for like all kinds of criticism, even if it's like plain hate. There's always some truth in it somewhere you can find and improve. I'm always really happy about any kind of comment. Honestly, I love comments. I really love comments. It's amazing. I love the internet. Cheers.
I'm just happy when there's not just compliments, to be honest, because nothing's ever perfect, I think.
Yep.
Especially music,
because it's
there's
so
always another perspective.
Yeah, and like perspectives matter so much. I think like when we started the podcast, you said like when I asked you guys like what do you think about Corona, and you guys just said, oh, it's really good. Like we've been more productive than ever. I think like that perspective in itself is like you will win the world, my friends. Like because a lot of people, for real, like a lot of people have been struggling with seeing the good side out of everything. Because if you want to see the negative things out there, you can. It's easy.
You definitely will.
It's so easy. But it's actually also easy to see the positive if you are if you understand that like life is about those two things and it's a decision, right? It's how we choose to see it. And I think seeing things from different angles, even in the musical aspect of it, I think that's really important. Like, how do you see comments? Like, the internet is a very dangerous place for some people, right? Because they cannot take it. Like, it's difficult. It's challenging for some people. But for some people like you guys, like, you can understand what people are thinking about, how people feel about your music. I think that becomes like your strength, especially with this social media world we're living in, with community building and with streaming and everything that's going on. So I think that's really a great job from you guys. I really learned so many things today. This is awesome. This is
thank you. Well, this is what you make it, right?
I learn something from your Instagram account every day. I absolutely love all the quotes you put on your posts.
Well, thank you.
It really does help, like reminding me to just stay positive
and stay mindful.
Yeah, stay mindful. Really nice.
I think like a lot of people probably think that I'm just really like positive guy that never feel sadness, depression or mental health things. Like I do face struggles, guys. Like I also face things like you guys do. I also have weaknesses and stuff, but actually me posting about it and writing captions about it and finding good captions about it, it actually also helps me to learn. So it's like I'm also learning by posting it,
Yeah,
like
it's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
You're like doing research about positivity every time you post. That's gotta 100%. Do something mentally.
Yeah, and slowly I understand that I kind of have a bit of accountability. Like when I see people just being blessed, like somebody just passed away, like to give that motivation, to get that hope, give that new perspective. I think to understand that people's lives are changed. Maybe not dramatically, but just a bit of change. It makes me the happiest. Like no stats, no likes, no followers, no stream counts matter more than that
definitely.
When I make someone's day, like that transcends everything else.
A minor change every year leads to a major change. A minor change every day leads to a major change every year. So yeah.
Solid that's quote. A quote right there.
Solid quote. Thank you.
Am I correct in remembering that it's actually your quote, Alex?
It is.
Ooh.
I had to use it at some point. I've been waiting for the right moment, and here it was.
That is
It
so
was
wise.
it was so good. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So let's talk a bit more about your music. So you guys released your first single, Chocolate Cake, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's really a funny name, but it's still
There's a funny story about it. If you want to
okay.
So
Tell us about that. Tell us about that.
so okay. So Jerome was in Denmark for the first time in my house, and okay, let's be real. When you're on vacation and you're seeing your best bro, and like you get hungry like all the time, right? So instead of eating normal food, you bake cake and eat it. And we were baking a lot of cake, like muffins and chocolate cake, left and right, and chunking it down. And we were, I mean, it was actually excessive the amount of baking we did. And then we started the duo that week, and then we were like, we were probably eating chocolate cake or something. We were like, hey, this would be a great name for a song. Our first song, Chocolate Cake. That's so lo-fi, dude. Oh my god.
God.
And we
need a cover for the song.
yeah. So we held up our batch of freshly baked muffins or chocolate cake, but we made it into a muffin shape, and then we filled it with the what's it called, the frosting. Took it up to my foam on the walls, took a picture, and slapped it on the cover like that, and that's our first song. It looks disgusting. Yeah.
It all started with cakes and muffins.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that's history right there, guys.
Yeah,
history was made that day.
It was also the very first lo-fi song we ever made. We just were like, yeah, this is great. Let's just boom, put it on Spotify.
Yeah, put some crackle on, and it's great. It's great.
So it's not very lo-fi.
I like it though.
It has a vibe. It's not lo-fi.
It has a vibe. Not lo-fi though, but it has a vibe.
It's a vibe. It's a good for a start. It's good for a start.
It's good for a start. Oh well.
Yeah.
Gotta start somewhere.
And like it's actually pretty recent, right? It's last year, right?
It's last year, yeah.
It's last year.
It was March last year.
You guys have been making lo-fi music for the last year. So it's been like a year.
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah,
So that's pretty
But
keep in mind, new, actually.
Keep in mind, we've been making music since I've been making music since 2010, I think, or 11, and that's like a long time from now. So we're not new to music at all. We're not like prodigies learning how to make music professionally in 1 year. We've studied for years trying to learn, and we're not even like at the top yet, or at all at the top.
Definitely
we'll get there one day.
It's like it's a process. It's a long process, right? It doesn't just happen overnight.
No, that's the thing. It's really funny. When you go, currently I'm enrolled in a music school. Even before I did that, I was in a high school where, I told people I make music, and we're like, oh, I love rapping. So they're like, they rap on one song and believe they're gonna make it big. Like people think it's like an overnight process. You make a song, upload it, and goes viral, boom, and you're famous. But it takes, like, for me, almost a decade since I've started making music. And I mean, I got 50K in a little over a month on a song. That's great, but it's not Post Malone, like a billion plays. It takes so much time building up, not just the skills, but also the community, the connections. It takes such a long time.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have bad relationships with time. I think a lot of people, sometimes me as well, like we want to rush things. We're ambitious, and that's a good thing. But I think patience. I think that's something that has been lacking recently because everything is fast now. You can just order food, and it just came right in front of your front door. You can do everything instantly right now with technology and everything, which is a good thing. But sometimes it leads us to being not patient, and especially with the music industry, and for real, like actually all industries, like everything takes time. You need the process, you gotta learn, you gotta meet the right connections, gonna meet the right people, try new things every day. It's a long process, but nobody wants to talk about that process, right? Everybody just want to talk
Definitely.
about that 1 billion streams.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a really important thing for everyone, for me as well, to learn
Yeah.
that you gotta enjoy the process. And
For us
like
too.
honestly, yeah, the best is yet to come. Like you never know what's gonna happen in next year, in 5 years, suddenly you went on tours. I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think process. I think that's really important.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
I'm not sure
We've.
who
Oh yeah,
said
go
it,
for it.
but everything of value takes time to build. I'm not sure who said it. Credit to whoever said that. But it's something I gotta focus more on because I'm not gonna lie. I can be quite impatient sometimes. I'll admit it. And
Yeah, we fall into that trap too. We're
it's
not
a
perfect.
bad habit. It's a bad habit, but it's improvable. Luckily.
So you guys have been making music basically since for decades, right? Since 2010,
A
or
decade,
maybe like
almost one day,
for decades,
almost
almost one
like
day,
1.5 years,
almost one
one
decade.
decade.
So, what have been your biggest challenges that you guys have went through, your experience, and how did you overcome those struggles?
You want to
I
start, Jerome?
think. Yeah, sure. I think for me personally, it was discipline. I
Mm,
spent a lot of time playing video games and watching TV shows and movies and doing basically anything but making more music. So because of
mm,
that, I didn't improve very fast. And playing video games is not very constructive for your own personal growth and well-being, I
yeah.
found.
Mm,
So I think that's the biggest thing that I've overcome the past 2 years, largely with the help of Alex, who he kept like pushing me and nudging me in the right direction.
mhm,
And I think because of that, the past 2 years have been more like I've grown more in the past 2 years than I've did the 5 years before that. So my tip to everyone is don't play video games and focus on your dreams.
Unless your dreams are
yeah.
video games, then focus on video games. Yeah, a personal struggle of my own in my music career. I mean, there's a lot. It's not. It's true what the rumors say. It's not an easy branch or industry at all.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. I think something all musicians struggle is, even though the internet exists nowadays and we can so easily contact people, that has made the industry so saturated that it's hard to actually
Yep.
get a voice in anything. Because you think now when we have contact to labels and everything, and back in the day, you had to like go to a record label, give them a a tape or a CD or whatever, and make them listen to it and have them
Mm,
write you a letter or whatever. That would be hard compared to now. But I actually think that now, when labels, or at least the big labels, are getting like hundreds of submissions a day for songs, especially now I come from house music, right? There's this label called NCS, this huge electronic music
alright.
label that has music for like every YouTube video ever. They get so many
Mm,
submissions every day, and it takes months to get a reply, and they don't even reply actually. But it's so difficult to just get in contact with people that can get you somewhere, and that's
Yeah.
incredibly frustrating. Which is like right there is where patience also comes in a place. And since I'm not very patient, or have not been very patient at least, that has been really hard for me. Just waiting. You spent days finishing the song, like almost sleepless nights, and you
mm,
send it, and then nothing happens for the first week. Then you wait, and the second week nothing happens, and the third week nothing happens. Then they don't
Yeah.
reply, and you're like, so frustrating to just
That,
get a reply from someone that means something in the industry that can get you somewhere.
that made me realize that if you want to get started in the industry, you got to be basically professional already. Otherwise, no one's gonna like accept your demo.
You got to be good to get noticed, like
Yeah.
classical noticed,
mm.
discovered. That doesn't just happen, unfortunately. We're waiting for it at least.
We still get
But
like we get our hopes up that one of our singles gets into one of those big Spotify curated playlists, but
Yeah.
we
never
still get
happened.
like it never happens, and we still get like a little disappointed every time it doesn't happen, even though we know it's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still hope for it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
I heard some rumors, but I'm not sure. Like maybe it's got something to do with the labels. Like it's easier if you're with labels to get into those editorial playlists. But I don't know what their relationships are. But what do you think about that?
And not there's different type of playlists on Spotify, right? There's the user made or the user curated playlist, and the editorial staff, and the algorithmic
Yeah.
playlists. And the editorials, I don't think that even if you have an insider friend that you can get on there. I think there's like a system. So you either got to be famous already. The artist has to be famous, because there's a higher chance that the famous artists are going to get added. For some, that's pretty ironic that the more famous you are, the more famous you get. But I think the labels have often very good contact, and that's what makes a label valuable these days. Because a label back in the day could get your music on 1 million CDs and sold worldwide in stores. But nowadays, a producer can do that on distrokid.com and just send out their own song to Spotify and Apple Music and everywhere and earn money. But where the label has value is in the connections and all their friends, all the playlist owners, where the song can upload. And I'm sure you can relate to this as a label, that you have contacts. And we also seen the results of having those contacts by getting 50K underneath. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like it's the harsh reality. I think like it's the reality of what's going
It's a
on.
harsh reality.
Especially like when you compare it with like decades ago, it's so different, right? With the streaming services and with the aggregators, it's very saturated. So many music is coming in every day,
Exactly.
and
You have to stand out.
and it's really hard to get noticed. Yeah, you gotta stand out, and especially with lo-fi music, you gotta really
That's
stand
really
out.
difficult. We've been trying our best, but it's not easy. We've been trying
It's
to.
kind of like
Go ahead.
I was just thinking, it's kind of like the wage gap. Like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer with labels. Like the big musicians get more streams, and it's harder for small musicians to get hurt.
Yeah, that's really difficult.
Yeah, it's a very challenging thing, even though it opens a lot of doors to like new musicians. But the reality is, yeah, it's gonna be very challenging. So, yeah, I think it opens a lot of eyes, and definitely with patience as well. That it's not gonna be easy. I've seen a lot of people like they get so excited, they just release their first track and everything, and months pass by and nothing really happens. Yeah. So yeah, connections also matter so much. I think
So much.
I think it's about leverage. So like, what value can you give? Like, who for the for the people that you have met, for the people that you know. I think all those connections, like all the behind the scenes, sometimes matters so much more than what you see, like right on your page or on your social media. Like it's the behind the scenes.
I also think, continuing the conversation about music then and music now, back in the day, there was more focus on the music and how good the music was. And today there's more focus on who can you make listen to your music to get into the world. Which context do you have, basically? So I'd say today it's probably 50% music, 50% communication.
And like, I think that's actually very true. Like right now, it's not really a lot about the music for me, to be honest. I don't think it's even 50-50. I think the music, because there's so many good music out there. So it's not just about the music itself, but how you play out with that music. I think a really interesting thing is TikTok, right? TikTok has been crazy. It's been like so many new artists that you have never heard of. Like even Lil Nas X started with TikTok. That's how he got viral, through Reddit. Like all those things that are actually not related to music, social media, funny dances, a lot of all those stuff that all add up. And make history, right?
Actually,
I think
on
go ahead.
TikTok, the only way you can get famous on TikTok because of the algorithm system is to have really good content. So the singers that are famous on TikTok are famous because they're good singers, and I think that's really, really great.
Mm.
It's really great that talent blooms and not connections bloom.
Yeah, I think like it opens a lot of doors, also to people like being creative about but right now I see a lot of musicians try to make songs that they know will make it in TikTok. So they
Yeah,
gotta do something related to dance in their in their lyrics. But yeah, it's part of the strategy, I
yeah.
guess.
It's a different. It's become a really big part of the industry. Actually, TikTok. Yeah, labels and artists, they pay famous TikTokers to make TikToks of their song, which is like an incredible tactic for like getting your music to be viral. Because TikTok, it's so,
Mm.
what's the word for it? It's so, I guess, fluent in a way, and it's really, I can't really find the word for it. Like I think you know what I mean. Like, yeah, I can't explain it. I'm limited by words. I'm word bound.
Damn.
That's okay.
Darn.
Darn.
The music industry changes a lot, especially with the last year or two. So I think it goes a lot with the strategy as well. How it's not just about the music, so it's really important to think about social media. I think you guys, for me, like personally, you guys are really good content creators. You can play a lot with that. Like seriously, you guys are really funny. You guys are really
Thank
creative,
you.
music wise, and also like social media wise, and like all these things you do. Even like when I saw that 50K. So by the way, guys, we just uh, Sunday morning just reached 50K streams on Spotify, and these guys they really made a celebration video that took hours to make
Days, actually.
and synchronization and editing it. I was like, dude, these people are serious. Like this is so cool. I've never seen anyone doing this. So you guys are really good with that. You guys really
Thank
need
you.
to lean more with that as well. I think it's gonna be really
That's
helpful.
That was just me having fun, basically. That's what I do. That's my definition of fun. Just spending like 2 days straight just working on some random but video. I find it so funny. I love it so much. And just making like vocals and singing and adding layers and making funk and all those kind of things. I love music so much. It's great.
Some of that funky.
So when some of that funk, some of that good. So whenever I can get the chance to make all kinds of music, I will take it. Not just lo-fi.
Yeah, and it's like it's productive fun. It's not like playing video games, right? Like it's a different definition of fun. Like
Yeah.
and I'm glad like I actually what boosted me, what catalyzed me to start Paletteism is actually because I changed my laptop. So I changed from a Lenovo to a Mac, and I cannot play anything on a Mac. So that's when I decided like
Smart.
God
if
bless
I
Max.
if I like if I imagine like I got a gaming laptop, I know I will like this. All these things would never happen.
This is why they
Right.
label Max as top productivity. You just can't play games because they're too bad.
Yeah, it's but like you never know what's gonna happen, right? Like and so
Yeah.
you just gotta stay grateful with like all those little things add up to big things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So did you do that on purpose? Buy the Mac and we're like, because I can't play games on it?
Not really, because when I was back then, I was actually about to go to university. So I was thinking like maybe I gotta you know reduce my playing time and do more schoolwork and stuff like that. So I was thinking,
We've all
oh,
been
why
there.
not getting a Mac so I can bring it? Like, it's more portable and everything. Um, but yeah, somehow, some way, it's never really intentional. But
That's really
I
funny.
do it for fun, literally for like months of like getting nowhere. But I just do it for fun because I really enjoy it. And yeah, it brought me to a lot of places, meeting a lot of people, and that has been such a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You're getting a lot of followers lately. I saw you're like Is it like over 1K a week or something? It's amazing. Every time I check, it's another level of K. So I checked it a few weeks ago. It was like 118 or 19. Now it's like 123 or something. It's crazy. Man's been growing a bit.
Like it's unreal for me as well. Like, but I never really wonder about it. Like, I never really think about it. Right now I'm just focusing on what kind of value I can give to
Definitely.
everyone.
That's important.
Like the people I work together with and the audience. Like to see people being like it's organic. Like people just really love it. Like that's what makes my day. You know, I don't care about like a lot of accounts got more views and likes than me, but that's not the goal that I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's funny, right?
so
Because that game of value goes both ways. Like even if you don't focus on the followers and focus on the value that you bring into your content will produce followers in the end. So it's like a double way.
yeah. But like when you just focus on the numbers, right? You don't focus on the values. Everything you
Yeah.
do is predicated with the numbers. But actually, when you focus on the value, you also get the numbers, right? Without you realizing it.
And you're just more happy making content because you're not fixated on some fake number.
Yeah.
Not fake, but some number that has caricated value, some value that doesn't actually mean anything. But value,
Yep.
and if you can bring value to people's lives, that's invaluable. I would almost say, haha. But yeah, I think it's great to just influence people's life. It's not often, but there was once, I think it was maybe 2 years ago or something, on one of my house music songs, I got like a message from a guy who like told me about how much his music has helped him and stuff, and I was like, my music did that. And I don't know. It makes me so happy to know that I can influence people somehow, some way, in a positive way. I mean, that's invaluable for me. There's no number that can make up for that.
And those are the stories that you will tell to your kids and your grandkids, right?
Hopefully one day.
Hopefully.
But yeah, I think like those stories, like, oh, someone really inspired because of me. Like, wow, like I'm actually influencing others. Like,
Yeah. I was more excited about that. I was more excited by that message than any number or any milestone I've ever achieved.
Yeah.
That was a big eye opener for me. Sorry, go ahead. I interrupted you.
No, go ahead.
No, I got no more to say. I just go ahead.
Your Wordbound. Yeah.
Are we getting old? Oh no.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it. I'm gonna wrap this up. But before we wrap this up, do you guys have any advices for people out there? Maybe in the music world or just real life world. Do you guys have any words for that?
In general, I'd say don't always go with your gut feeling. Think ahead. Think what you want to do in the future. Think about what you want to do. And if you know what you want to do, you can work towards it. Because then you know what you have to do to get what you want. You know?
Yeah. I know.
You know? I think that's the thing. I spent a lot of time not knowing what in the world I want to do. And then when I finally decided that I was going to study music, that's when things started to happen.
Definitely.
Because otherwise, you're going to be stuck in that in-between zone.
Yeah. I agree. I guess my advice or whatever. I mean, I'm not the most wise person on earth. I mean, I basically just turned 17. Like,
yeah, we're just two school kids.
We're just two school kids, honestly. But what I've been really fixated on lately is finding out what I want to do with my life. Like, if you're coming home every day and not excited about doing something, your hobby, and you're just going home and watching Netflix, I think that's a sign you really have to go out and just try things you've maybe never thought of trying. Maybe you want to go rock climbing for some reason. maybe you don't want to go rock climbing, but you've never tried it, or whatever you want to, or whatever. Like there's so many things to do. You could try to learn guitar. Maybe that'll spark a lifelong hobby. You never know, right? Maybe that will turn into a career. Like John Mayer, I can remember he saw someone play, I think, and he wanted to take guitar lessons, and now he's one of the greatest guitar players on the earth, right? So I mean, you just gotta try practically random things. So maybe things you find a little bit interesting, but like, I'll do that someday later. Just do it now because you're wasting your time. You never know when you could potentially die, or maybe when someone close to you dies, and you sad you didn't do something when you could have done something. So just do something. Do it.
Do something. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, just do something instead of wasting your time.
These are golden words. I'm like, I'll probably use this for my next caption.
Now I'm curious what your advice is to people.
Yeah, your turn this time. The tables have turned.
You put me on the spot, yeah?
Yeah, you put us on the spot as well.
I'm actually really inspired, and I really want to add with that. I think I'm not saying that Netflix or playing games is wrong, but I believe that if you choose to do that as your escapism because you hate your job or you don't know what to do in life, I think that's a really bad sign. It's a sign that you're not enjoying life. You're trying to escape. It's your escapism. So I think it's really important to try things, especially in a young age. You can do and try a lot of things, even at your house right now during this pandemic. You can try a lot of things, do a lot of new things, learn a lot of new things that can make you more excited about life, because you only get one chance. You only get one life, and you never know what will happen. So better make good use of every opportunity.
Yeah.
Make good use of every time. And yeah, I think you guys really nailed that one. I just want to add a little.
Thank you.
I like it.
That.
You're not doing too bad yourself.
No, thank you. So, you guys have any shout outs to anyone before we end this?
Shout out to my mom, my dad for making me.
That's a Justin Bieber lyric. Okay, go ahead.
What? What? Justin Bieber lyric?
Yeah.
But is it?
Yeah, it's called Intention.
Wait, is it for real? Justin Bieber lyric?
Yeah. I think it says like I think it says like shout out to your mom and dad for making you.
Oh my god! I have to check that out. That's amazing.
I like that.
I have something in common with Justin Bieber. I would love to meet that guy one day. Oh well.
You will.
Hopefully.
I don't know. We're making a lot of friends on Instagram. So I guess shout out to all those people. We got JJ Vince and Cat Dad, and we got this guy called Pal Pal. He's kind of nice.
Kind of nice. I don't know if you know him, but he's like okay, I guess. He's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah.
He's fine. Yeah, shout out to all the people who have supported us on Instagram without us giving anything in return because we're selfish. No, thanks you all so much. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been great.
Alex, Jeroen, thank you so much for your time. Like, you guys are so amazing. I truly appreciate your time, and I wish you guys all the best for what is to come for your next release next week. And I also would like to thank everyone who has been listening to the podcast up until this point. Please take care of your body, take care of your mental health, do productive things, try new things. Don't escape your life, but make your life meaningful. Do life with intent and purpose. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Stay safe and take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.